Good evening, traders. It's Simon at Kairos Capital Markets with the weekly reviews of the Aussie dollar, pound yen, euro dollar, and Bitcoin. So as you can probably tell this week, I'm 100 times better. I actually sound normal for once, and we're diving right in. So the DXY and the US dollar has kind of done nothing again. We're still being squeezed within this. On the weekly chart, we got this upward sloping trend line on the US dollar index, which is an evenly weighted index, and you've got the DXY, which is a very, very similar story here of what's happening. Now, already you can see what I'm looking to how this would work out now. So I feel that we're going to have some form of head and shoulder pattern form over the next couple of quarters now, to around about October time possibly. The reason I think that is because the way the market's being squeezed at the bottom of this range here, at the very, very bottom, so you can see it more on the daily chart, I just sense that we're going to have something explode out to the upside. On the daily perspective, this is how I'd confirm my bull market here. So I'd like to buy at 92 really as a stronger position upon the head and shoulder pattern. Inverse head and shoulder pattern, sorry. But obviously the very first thing you've got to break out of is this daily 50 EMA. Then the downward sloping trend line here, so around this area here. Once you do break out and retest properly, that is when your first confirmation of the bull trend will be starting, and you should then get the leg up to 94 on the DXY. On the US dollar index, I'm expecting, again, you probably see this upward sloping trend line be broken to the upside as well, then come back down again. So that's what I'm looking for the DXY at the moment. But right now, this very second in time, we're being squeezed. It's respected this upward sloping trend line, which is on the weekly chart, which is quite nice to see within the box. So again, if you see a break and a close above into this area here, above 11700 this week, and actually close above it, that would be a very, very good indication that we are now turning bullish on the US dollar. So how does that look on the Aussie dollar? Well, I still feel we may move down to this upward sloping trend line here. Let me move that volume out of the way. And this is drawn on the weekly perspective and just copied to the daily. I do think we draw ourselves down towards it. And that would make sense with the US dollar index as well, that does. Because as this comes down, the dollar index would go up. You'd mess around here for a couple of days, reject it, then you'd move up, and the DXY would actually retest that actual zone we had on the daily chart. So this makes sense to move down a little bit further. It did move down last week slightly, ever so slightly, but nothing of any major move or anything at all. So I'm just sitting my hands, wait and see here. Move down, then come back up to test 775. That'd be quite nice with the daily 50. Reject that, then break down through. That'd be quite nice to see. Now, pound yen, I said to you I was waiting last week for some form of trade, and what you can see here now, what happened here was the actual pound yen moved up and then just chopped through the daily 50 and now started breaking down again. The volume is very deceiving here, just purely because we got bank holiday Monday and Easter and everything else. But on the lower time frames, you have got break of this trend line now. Okay, my only problem with this, is this low test, which is quite high volume for a low test, that is. So I still expect it to move up, and we will see kind of what happens in the next few days, how it would respect this. So if we actually do respect the 4-hour 50 EMA, the trend line, and this 149 level, then yes, I would expect it to then move down to at least to the equal lows again of around 148.4, and that could be a very good trade coming up here. So keep that in mind at the moment, but it's a play it safe, see what happens there. The next pair I'm looking at is euro dollar, and again, because we are in this dollar holding position, it's just really annoying. Notice how I said the daily 50 trade off here, it did move up actually, but nothing where you could really safely say, yeah, I like it. And we're back in the same situation again. It never respected 1.25, never got there. We're back at the daily 50 again. Again, low volume though, rejecting this. So for the moment, hands on me bum for the moment. I'm not trading this pair. I don't like it. It's just a mess. That doesn't give you no indication whatsoever. I'm waiting for the breakout. Again, the scalpers made like the little range on the lower time frame here. To show this lower time frame, you'll see this range just forming here bit by bit. For me though, I'm not really happy with it. I'm not really interested. You could say that this high volume rejection of the 4-hour 50 is kind of a rejection of the 4-hour 50. But notice recently 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times before that it just ignored it. So I wouldn't really care too much for it until I had another break and retest of that before I even use this as a dynamic support or resistance at the moment. Now Bitcoin, we was right spot on again this week. We did say we think it come down to 6850, and as you can see, it stopped at 6850 perfectly. It has on the daily chart. What I don't like about this now though is the respect is actually very, very low volume. Look how low this volume is. For me personally, when the volume is this low, the market still carries on in its general direction as such. So I'm expecting it just to maybe break down a bit more. Again, on the lower time frames, there's nothing really of great indication to what's happening, because although we got this little rejection here, it did go down to 6350 almost a second time. As I said here, the volume was good. The volume here is very, very low. So the rejection the first time was huge. This time it's just 2 candles, not multiple candles, and then the volume to go back up again should be there, and there's nothing there at all. So the buying interest is not there yet, and I'll definitely tell you now for a fact that this market is going to go back down to 6350 again for another test. I reckon, obviously, the next couple of days or so, if we have a break and retest at 6350, so the market comes down like that, and then comes back up for a retest, and then the retest itself is of high volume, you know we're going lower again. Now if we do head lower again, you're going to have to see where is the market going to go next, and for that I'm just going to switch on the volume for price, and we'll see what comes up. Let's have a look. Let this load up. It's not going to load up for us. Thank you. That's better. Can we drag the whole lot out there? So guys, let's see if I can get the whole chart in here for you. So the next volume area is going to be around about the 4,000 level, between 4,007 and 4,000. So I'm just going to mark that in now because that is of interest. There, as you can see, it is there. You can also say as well where this is what we expected here. So let's put 5900. That kind of level there makes sense as well in the middle there. So what I'm expecting now really is a move lower to 5900. That does make sense. And then if we break that level, it will be down to the lows of 4,000. So we'll look to see what happens bit by bit. I'm just going to type in 5900 now. It's almost where it was anyway, actually, before. So yes, that's pretty much where it was already before. So you go and break. If you break through this and come back up again, you'd know this zone has been broken, and then it would be to 4,000. That's how I see this market playing at the moment, like that. So that's what I'm looking for exactly now. So that's how you combine the charts together bit by bit there, guys. Okay. Any questions, give us a shout, and we'll see you next week. Take care.